The Lives of the Saints by Father Alvin Butler, September 8th, Saints Eusebius, Nestabulus, Zeno, and Nestor, martyrs. In the reign of Julian the Apostate, Eusebius, Nestabulus, and Zeno, 3 zealous Christian brothers at Gaza, were seized by the pagans in their houses, where they had concealed themselves. They were carried to prison and inhumanly scourged. Afterward, the idolaters, who were assembled in the amphitheater at the public shows, began loudly to demand the punishment of the sacrilegious criminals, as they called the confessors. By these cries, the assembly soon became a tumult, and the people worked themselves into such a ferment that they ran in a fury to the prison, which they forced, and hailing out the 3 brothers, began to drag them, sometimes on their bellies, sometimes on their backs, bruising them against the pavement, and striking them with clubs, stones, or anything that came in their way. The very women, quitting their work, ran the points of their spindles into them, and the cooks took the kettles from off the fire, poured the scalding water upon them, and pierced them with their spits. After the martyrs were thus mangled, and their skulls so broken that the ground was smeared with their brains, they were dragged out of the city to the place where the beasts were thrown that died of themselves. Here the people lighted a fire, burned the bodies, and mingled the bones that remained with those of camels and asses, that it might not be easy for the Christians to distinguish them. This cruelty only enhanced the triumph of the martyrs before God, who watches over the precious remains of his elect to raise them again to glory. With these 3 brothers there was taken a young man named Nestor, who suffered imprisonment and scourging as they had done. But as the furious rioters were dragging him through the street, some persons took compassion on him on account of his great beauty and comeliness, and drew him out of the gate. He died of his wounds within 3 days in the house of Zeno, a cousin of the 3 martyrs, who himself was obliged to fly, and being taken was publicly whipped.